Okay, so we've had a very interesting session, and I'm so impressed with the quality of hands we have here because was just telling me off camera that this was very. They had to think through the answers, and of course, we just want to ensure we have value for our listeners. We want a session where people can listen in and then take the lessons from here onto their own businesses or their lives. So I'm going to come to you, Doctor. Innovation and technology, very interesting topic. You've also mentioned a few important things, adoption and ease of use.
Yes.
So we want to think about what do you see? What's the future of technology for your space? Okay. Like I always say, in the product life cycle, competitive life cycle, we can be thinking that, this is the height of it.
Yes.
E-healthcare or whatever you're doing right now, this is the height of it. But obviously, there's that phase when it becomes mature, everybody's in it, and then there's under disruption. What do you think?
Well, I think the future really is artificial intelligence, and it's really bright. I think that in my space, we'll find out that doctors will do only a part of the diagnosis. The rest will be so that, care is more uniform and care is, just regularized across the board, so that one person is not diagnosing this and another diagnosing that. Technology might actually help us to actually, harmonize, and make diagnosis based on, symptoms, or likely diagnosis based on what symptoms are presented, by the patient. Even though I don't think we're going to be replaced anytime soon by any technology. But I believe that
I need the doctors to be able to touch me. I'm like,
exactly.
So that's the right one.
So that will still be, very necessary.
Human touch is important.
Yes, but in terms of guidance as to how standard operating protocols can be harmonized, so that I don't go to this general hospital and I'm diagnosed with this, and then that and diagnosed with an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
Technology can help in that direction.
Fantastic and straight to the point. Then I'm going to ask you, for a woman who is looking to innovate, who is looking to either innovation driven by technology or not, what advice do you have for the person?
Well, I'd say, so maybe I should look at that camera. Yes, I will say that actually the sky is the limit. As a matter of fact, look at the people from Oxford Brookes. They are telling you that they know mathematics. So the sky really is the limit. As a matter of fact, I think females actually have better linguistic skills. Females actually have, really keen sense of intuition and understanding of what really the needs of people are. And so just do it, I think, is really the key message. Just do it, start it, and keep at it. And you'll achieve the goals.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Doctor. That's very reassuring. Even though I know that you're going to go home today and find something to another table to scatter. And then Mrs. Adenike Akonde, the innovator herself.
Yes.
Tech expert. Okay, so what innovations? I mean, right now it feels like, for me, this is like a huge deal. Yeah. But I believe that there are some things you're doing right now as a school that I feel like technology can actually take it to the next step.
Sure.
What's the disruption? What's the future looking like?
Okay, well, just as you rightly said, there's some innovation you are working on now, and it seems, this is it, this is the height. In some years' time, it's more like sounding obsolete.
Yes.
Because they are newer ones. So now in the education space, well, just as he said, he's not looking at AI replacing doctors anytime soon. We're also not looking at artificial intelligence replacing teachers, right? As you rightly said also, you need that physical, you need the touch. Yes. Because at times it's just a hug you give a child, and it's just very reassuring. You know that, which the computer is not going to do that.
Yes.
Not sure a robot is going to do that. So it can always get better. We are looking at innovations. Okay, for instance, sometimes last week, we started using this e-resource for the children. It's a bilingual school. Started using this e-resource, and we had to call the children to come one after the other to come to the computer, to the laptop to do something. So imagine a situation where you can just wave your hand. There's this simulation I see where the person can actually, it's like a 3D, I don't know what's called.
So you can actually pull up the screen virtually and then
pull up the screen. You can see a real figure. Imagine how the learning is going to be for the child. At times, I think that wild and wide. Just imagine how it's going to be for the child. That every lesson you are planning, you can see it, you can walk through it, you can pass through it, you can touch it.
I understand. I mean, like when we did chemistry, I was surprised one time I traveled. I went to a chemistry lab and I could see molecules. What?
Interesting.
Molecules?
Models.
You saw it? You could see the 3D figure.
Yeah.
And I can imagine the possibility. I mean, I did industrial chemistry and oh my goodness, you can relate.
Theory or
Oh
something.
my world. Imagine seeing molecule,
Interesting.
atoms that is supposed to be invisible.
Interesting.
And you saw it
Yes,
and saw that it has
makes
model
learning-
and it's showing the 3D dimension. I mean,
Exactly.
and that this already obsolete. I mean, so imagine the next
True.
step. That's fantastic.
So when I think about such things in a learning environment, which, I mean, as an innovation, there's no child. Then you realize that no child is unintelligent. No child is a dollar, because it's just the manner of approach. We talk about visual learners, tactile learners. Now, almost every child is a digital learner, because even the child who seems not to learn by saying or by listening, by the time you give the child a device. So imagine something you can actually walk through, you can pass through, you can touch it. There's no how it's going to stick. There'll
going
be
to stick.
more retention for the learners.
Thank you very much. And then what's the advice you're going to give to a woman who is looking to innovate in as short as you could say it?
I mean, just do it. Let me take a cue from two of
Oh,
them.
we're going to just do it.
Just
Just
do
do
it.
it. Do it.
Start it. Yeah.
Start it.
Start it.
Innovate. So, Temitope, what do you think?
Okay, for future innovations, I would say virtual reality introduced
Okay.
into the workplace, where you're sitting at home, but it's like you're sitting right there in the office, because everything is just. I think that's what
That was
you're
what I was trying to.
virtual reality.
Exactly. Yeah, that was what I was
Virtual
trying
reality being
to.
introduced to the workplace. That's one innovation that I know that will.
And how is
looking
that
forward
going to
in the
help?
future. So the way it is, you can be here now. You have to connect me via Zoom or via any of these platforms. But what happens then is you can be seated right here, and then it's just as if you are, when you're plugged in, just as if you're working.
Everybody's sitting here with you.
Yeah.
And then someone can look at
Exactly.
you
can
annoyingly.
You can have virtual meetings,
Like,
virtual
no.
reality meetings. Exactly.
I can change the
I
color.
don't know if I like that.
I mean, as long as I can change the color of my suit 3 times in the meeting.
But I think it's actually very stimulating.
I
If
mean,
when you put yourself in that space.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was what I was just trying to. I was looking for the right word.
Yes, virtual reality. I know,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So, is there something you're doing right now that is not technology driven that you wish that if you could actually do some innovation right now, you could actually convert this process to an automated process?
Well, I'll have to think long and deep about that. But I mean, there's something I even didn't mention earlier. Of course, our e-commerce site
Okay.
for SynLab. The fact that now you can book your test online, have someone pick up your samples. That is also innovation in itself.
Yes.
And maybe, it in the future possibly change into an app where you just have that right on your phone and you can, I feel your doctor tells you do this test, and right there and then before you leave the doctor's office, you can go through and check which locations you can do the test at, and basically do everything from your phone. I think that would be another step on top of what we currently have
That's
on the
fantastic.
website. In terms of my work, I haven't thought long and deep about it. But for me, I think for me, I just sort of go with the flow
Okay.
and just sort of keep abreast with what's happening and seeing how it can then affect my work. But I never thought Excel would help me to the extent that it has. And even with Excel, there's been different formulas that have been coming out. I still have, I think it was XLOOKUP.
Yeah.
We thought VLOOKUP was a thing. And then
Yeah, then
XLOOKUP
there's
came and I'm like, okay, now I don't have to count the number of columns anymore.
Yes.
And it's basically cut down, my
work time.
my work by a few minutes, really. So saving me time on that. So yeah.
So that's fantastic. I mean, and then what advice, quickly? Like if it's were to give one sentence of advice that a person can print and paste on their wall.
I think I'll go with what
Just do it.
doctors say. Yeah, just do it really. Get over that fear. Sometimes we are.
So
our
I'm going to
own-
coin everything. So I say, do it afraid. Do
Yeah,
it.
do
Even
it
though you're
afraid.
scared,
Just do it.
do it afraid.
Do it afraid.
So you're going to be worried. You're going to be perturbed with the financial indices and all the challenges that are going to. So
Do it
just do it
anyway.
afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe it's been a very exciting episode. Happy International Women's Day to all the amazing mothers and women out there who are breaking the glass ceilings. I mean, see them here. And the men that support us and help us
Oh,
break
yeah.
them and give us
Thank you. man.
advices. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming and for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.